it can be your thoughts, it can be your ideas. So either you are sharing it in by a particular individual, or you are just trying to share your communication or exchanging your information within a particular group. Okay. So do you think communication happens only through verbal thing? That is not the case. Communication can be verbal or non-verbal. Okay, I hope you people know the meaning of verbal and non-verbal. Verbal is you're just expressing with your mouth. Non-verbal is something you're just expressing with your hands of action. You are doing your action and then you're expressing what you want to say. Okay, that refers to your non-verbal communication. Okay, coming towards the definition of communication, as I told you, communication is the process of exchanging information, your ideas, thoughts, or feelings between individuals or groups through verbal and non-verbal or written means or by writing. So, communication does not happen only through verbal or through non-verbal, but also if you're writing something on a piece of paper or wherever you just want to write it, that also express a kind of a community. That means you are just trying to share your thoughts with someone, what is the what you want to express it, that refers to communication. Okay, now when we are speaking about communication, okay, basically you have got certain elements of it. Okay, like how in order to communicate, first there should be a kind of a sender is the one who is trying to express his or her speech. Okay, second is something you are just trying to pass on a certain message. Third is medium or the channel, you can say, through which you want to express your message. Fourth is the receiver one. And the last is your feedback. So basically, you have got five elements. Okay, what are the five elements of your communication? It's your sender, it's your message, your medium, your receiver, and your feedback. Okay, sender means what? Sender is a person, or you can say sender is a kind of an entity that originally wants to exchange its message. Okay, so here the sender will try to encode its message. Encoding means either the sender will put into words, or the sender will try to express it with a kind of a symbol, or a sender will try to express it with the hands of your action before you try to transmit it. Sender is nothing but the one who is communicating. That person you call it as communicator or sender. Okay. Now, what does the sender is trying to send to the other party? A message. Okay. Now, what is this message? This message is nothing but the data or the information, you can say, or the thought that is provoking in your mind, or the idea that you want to convey it to the other person. This is nothing but this is a kind of a message. Okay. And this message, it can be verbal, that is it can be spoken, or in or you can write it in words, or this message can be non-verbal, that is sometimes showing your face expressions. Okay, showing your action with the help of your hands, with the help of your body language. Okay, this is how you want to transmit your message. Third is channel. I mean, what is the proper source through which you can just pass on your message? Okay, so here the channel is nothing but the medium that is being used to transmit your message. Okay, sometimes the medium is face to face conversation. Okay, sometimes the medium can be with the help of your telecommunication, that is with the help of your phone call. Okay, sometimes it can be on a piece of a paper, that is writing a letter. It can be with the help of your email, or it can be anything like your social applications that you're using, that is your digital platforms. So these are nothing but these are the channels through which you want to transmit your message. Okay, now sender is finished, message is conveyed. Okay, medium is there. Now who is the next party? Next party is your receiver. Okay, so the receiver is the person. to whom you are just trying to interpret your message, to whom you are just trying to transmit your message. So the receiver is the person who is trying to receive your message. That person you call it as receiver. Okay. So ultimately, this receiver, okay, its understanding basically its understanding depends on, I mean, receiver's background. Okay, it's knowledge, it's your perception. Okay, for example, if you are showing your facial expression, the other party should know what expression you want to convey. Okay, sometimes it may happen you are just trying to stare a person. Okay, when you are staring a person, okay, what is your perception? That means that person has done something wrong, or you're just trying to like you're just seeing that person for the first time. Okay, these two messages can be conveyed from your mind. Okay, so in that particular case, what you're doing, instead of, I mean, verbally communicating it, you're just going with non-verbal. Non-verbal in the sense you're just staring your eyes, you're just holding your eyes at a particular place. Okay, so in that case, the other party should know, okay, what message you are conveying it. Okay, if the other party is able to understand, then your non-verbal communication is successful. If the other party does not know, like what the staring of your eyes, what does it responds to, then it's waste. Okay, like in many countries sometimes it may happen. In our Indian culture, for example, if a person is writing an exam, or if you have done something good, we show thumbs up sign, right? This is what happened. Like our perception is thumbs up is like best of luck or all the best, you have done good, you have done right. But in Western culture, if you show thumbs up, okay, the this symbol is like you're just challenging the other person. Our perception is different, their perception is different. Okay, so here there should be a proper understanding between the sender and the receiver when you are going up with non-verbal communication. Okay, I'll give you next example. For example, you people are just sitting in a class or in a seminar or in a conference. Okay, when a conference is going on, or when a seminar is going on, or when a session is going on, lecture is going on. Okay, in between, if a person is raising his hand, what does it mean to the other party? It's like you want to ask something, you have a doubt and you want to ask something. Okay, so as per our culture, it's like you have a doubt, you are asking something. Whereas in Western culture, it's like you are just stopping a person from moving ahead, from continuing his or her session. Okay, so in our culture, the non-verbal sign is different, and in their culture the non-verbal sign is different. So whenever you are going with non-verbal communication, you just have to keep it in mind, certain facial expressions or certain gestures you can say. Is that clear? And the last is your feedback. Okay, feedback is nothing but this is the response, okay, that you are giving, that you are given by the receiver, whether the receiver has received your message in a successful manner, that is indicating whether the message was understood correctly or not. Okay, because in order to have your communication effective, there must be two-way interaction. Okay, if you have a proper two-way interaction, if a person is giving proper feedback, then it ensures the clarity of your communication. You will be thinking, right, my message has been conveyed to the other party in a successful manner. So this is what the feedback represents. So how many elements of communication are there? It's your sender, it's your message, it's your medium, your receiver, and your feedback. Is it clear to you all? Now, next coming towards types of communication. As we have already discussed, there are two types of communications, verbal and non-verbal. Apart from verbal and non-verbal, you have other two types, that is visual communication and digital communication. Okay, so one by one we just, I mean, try to look into. Now, coming towards verbal communication. Verbal communication can be happen when you are speaking with your mouth. That is your oral communication. Okay. Your oral communication includes your conversation, includes a kind of a, what do you say, phone call, or making a face-to-face conversation, or going up with by giving a speech, or by presenting something. Okay, these are the examples that goes on with your oral communication. Written communication, with the help of your letters, with the help of writing a text message, right? With the help of your emails, with the help of reports. So these are the sources of your written communication. Now, next, coming towards your non-verbal communication. Non-verbal is without expressing something from your mouth. Okay, so it can happen with the help of your body language, how you are moving it, with the help of your gesture, that is showing with the help of your hands, your facial expression. Okay, sometimes you will be opening your eyes broadly, you will be closing your eyes, you will be, tickling your nose. Okay, these are all the kinds of your facial expression. Sometimes you will be, without speaking anything, you will be making a tone of voice, like this. Okay, then with the help of your eye contact. Okay, these are all the kinds of gestures or postures or your body language that are trying to convey your message without speaking from your mouth. That is without words, you can say. Okay, for example, if you are giving a smile, okay, what does that smile indicates? That you like a person. You are you are like a friend to that person, or else you are giving a friendliness smile. Okay, while crossing your arms. Okay, if you're just folding your hands, that means you are just, listening to it keenly. Or you may sometimes indicate defensiveness. Okay, so these are some kinds of your non-verbal communication. Now, coming towards your visual communication. What do you mean by visual communication? Communication is something that is shown with the help of models. Models in the sense, like your images will be there. Okay, for example, image will be shown to you. Okay, you have got so many 3D images nowadays. If you just observe that particular image, from that image you will be coming out with an object, what is embedded or what is hidden in that image. Okay, sometimes with the help of graphs, like it goes on from high to low or from low to high, or sometimes it may be static or constant. So if it is going from high to low, okay, and that time it indicates like it is moving from lower side to the upper side. Okay, you can predict like the sales for so and so month has been lower when compared to the last month, or what is being predicted in the future. Sometimes it can happen with the help of symbols also. So where you try to convey your informations. Okay, so this visual communication basically happens in your advertising, or in your social media, or in your presentations. Okay, I'll give you a small example of advertising. For example, when a advertising is being played on your television, okay, before the advertisement start, do they tell you like what product is that? You have to understand, like they will try to express it in such a way, automatically that will come into your mind. Okay, for example, if a advertisement of Vaseline is going on, okay, at the initial starting of it, do they tell you we are doing an advertisement of Vaseline? They will not tell you in that way. What happens? They will just try to put a kind of a lotion on their body or on their hands, and then they will just try to keep it under direct sunlight. And if no changes occur, that means this particular product is too good, and that is nothing but this is Vaseline. This is how they may try to express it. Okay, and by seeing that particular ad, you will be coming to know, are this product is basically for our, I mean, to look on for the moisture of our body. Okay, for the sunlight, for tanning of your, if you are under the sunlight. Okay, so it describes. So with the help of advertisement, without conveying it directly, we are just trying to show you in an indirect way. Okay, by enacting it. interacting in a kind of a playway method. Next is your digital communication. Digital communication is nothing but, using your social media, using your emails or your audio conferencing, your video conferencing, okay, your messaging apps. All these things comes under the concept of your digital communication. Is that clear? I want a response from you people while I'm explaining. Now, next, coming towards your objectives of communication. Okay, these are the objectives of your communication, that is, information sharing, understanding and clarity, persuasion and influence, decision making and problem solving, building relationships, coordination and collaboration, expressing feelings and emotions, education and training, conflict resolution, spreading awareness, and social change. Okay, coming towards the first objective of your information sharing. Basically, what happens, your communication serves either in many purpose, in your personal way, in your professional way, in your social settings way. Okay, so coming towards the first, that is information sharing. This is one of the primary objective of your communication, where you are trying to share your knowledge, where you are trying to share your ideas, your opinions, or the facts that are present in your reports to the other person. Okay, this happens, this is very important, or this is very crucial in organization, in your education, in your personal interaction. Okay, for example, a manager informing employees about company policies, or a teacher is explaining a new concept to student. So here what is happening, we are just trying to share our information to the other person. Okay, next objective is your understanding and clarity. Okay, when you are conveying your message should be clear, it should be understandable to the other party. Okay, then only it gives rise to your effective communication. So in order to have effective communication, okay, you have to ensure that the receiver understands your message, whatever the same way you are conveying to them. Okay, sometimes it may happen there might be some communication barriers. Okay, in such a case miscommunication happens. Okay, if miscommunication happens, what will happen, it lead to confusion, it lead to errors, it lead to mistakes. Okay, for example, if you people are visiting a doctor might be explaining you some medical instructions in simple terms. Okay, if you are able to understand doctor's message, that means if you are able to get effective communication, whatever the prescription that is prescribed by the doctor, if you are able to get it clearly, then it gives rise to effective healing. Otherwise, what will happen? If miscommunication, if any communication barrier is there, then ultimately you will be the sufferer. Okay, so communication should be clearly understandable, and it should be clear clarity. There should be a proper clarity to the other party. Next is persuasion and influence. Okay, sometimes it may happen your communication will try to use, we will try to motivate the other person, or you will try to influence others to just adopt a particular action, to just adopt a particular behavior. Okay, like I told you, advertisements, when advertisements are being played, what will happen, it tries to tell customers to buy a product. Okay, indirectly when they are showing something on television, indirectly it's saying like you try to buy our product, you try to purchase our product. They are not forcibly coming to your place and explaining it, it's being trying to show in it digitally. Okay, sometimes it may happen like in an organization, a leader will be trying to inspire employees to work harder, okay, by giving motivational speeches. Okay, sometimes it may happen in a college. A lecture will try to motivate students by giving, motivational lectures, you can say. Okay, that means I'm just trying to influence you by giving so and so information so that you get motivated, or you get convinced, or you get influenced with the help of my message. Okay, next objective is your decision making and problem solving. Okay, in this decision making, this communication plays a very vital role. How you are able to gather information, how you are able to discuss your ideas, how you are able to make your decision. Because in order to make decision, it's not a simple task. To come to a particular decision, first you have to gather information. Once you gather, you have to come out with your own ideas, right? Then you can make an informed decision. Even with respect to your personal life, with respect to your practical life, if you're working in an organization. Okay, like how if a meeting is being conducted, okay, you will try to discuss your ideas, you will try to come out with your own strategies before you try to launch a new product. There might be some plan in your mind, there might be some idea in your mind. Unless and until you try to express it, unless and until you try to put your idea into practical situation, you will not come out with a result of it, right? Next objective is your building relationships. Okay, how you are able to build relationships? With the help of communication. If your communication is effective, if your communication is too good, if your communication is understandable, or if your communication has got a clarity in it, then this particular communication, it strengthens your personal ideas, it strengthens your professional relationship, it strengthens your social relationship. Okay, by fostering a kind of understanding, by fostering a kind of a trust with the other party. Okay, like how your friends will be discussing their feelings. Why do they try to discuss their feelings? So that to resolve any conflict. Okay, when you try to share your feelings with the other person, okay, at that time what will happen? Your heart, it comes to slow down. Okay, if you're not able to communicate it to the other party, what will happen? You will have a burden on your heart, like you want to express something and you're not able to do it, right? So this is what happened. Next is your coordination and collaboration. Okay, basically in organization, what happened? This communication should ensure proper coordination among employees, or there must be proper coordination among your peer group. Okay, there must be a proper coordination with your shareholders, with your customers, or whoever the party that are associated with your organization. If you have a proper coordination and collaboration with them, then your business operations will be running smoothly. Okay, like how, for example, you are just constructing a building. Okay, in this construction of a building, a construction project, okay, whatever that is there, he requires engineers, he requires architects, even he requires laborers. Okay, engineers will not build a house, engineers will only give their plan how to build a house. Architect will give its own design. Ultimately, laborers are the one who will build their house. So it's not like you'll be having a proper coordination or collaboration with only engineers or with only architects. But to whoever the people, okay, who are involved in your projects, that is your engineers, your architects, your laborers, with all these people, you have to have proper coordination and collaboration. You have to communicate with them effectively to have your work complete on time. Okay. Next is expressing feelings and emotions. Okay, here many people will try to communicate not just to share information, but also they will try to communicate to express their emotion. What are their needs? What are their concerns? Not even in personal life, but also in your social life. Okay, for example, if you're just asking your leader for a particular permission, okay, in order to have a leave or in order to go for a vacation. Okay, once you come out, once you have taken your leave or once you have completed your vacation, okay, then you will be expressing your thank thanksgiving message to your leader. That means you're expressing your feelings, you're expressing your emotions, you're expressing your gratitude. How you're expressing it? With the help of by just saying thank you message, or showing a kind of a sympathy through comforting words. For example, if a friend is coming to you with a lot of problems, if you just try to express a word, Are, don't worry, everything will go fine. Okay, these words are nothing but that matters a lot in his life. Okay, for the period that what he is going through. Okay, so what you are doing, you are not, it is not, you are not going to spend something on it. You are just trying to convey a kind of a message, a comfort message, you can say, a kind of a thank you message, a kind of a sorry message. These words are something, it's free of cost, that should come out of your mouth. That means these words are something where you are expressing your feelings, where you are expressing your emotions. Okay, next is education and training. Okay, education and training, this is one of the foremost thing. Okay, communication is essential wherever you are just moving. It is essential in your learning part, it is essential if you are going for any professional training program or in your teaching program, where you are just trying to transfer your knowledge, where you are just trying to develop your skills. Okay, so communication plays a very vital role in your education and training. If a person is not educated, if a person is not trained, then he will not come out with proper communication. Like how there will be a kind of a difference between educated and uneducated. And uneducated is something, they does not have even a minute etiquette. If a person to convey to convey to a person for a thank you message, for a sorry message, or for a comfort message, you can say. Okay, next is conflict resolution. If you have your communication in a very effective way, it resolves your misunderstanding, it resolves your disagreements, it avoids your conflicts. Okay, if you have any conflict, if you have an open discussion, what will happen? It will be resolved, your problem will be resolved. Unless and until you're just trying to express it, what problem you are facing, how will the other party will come to know? Okay, for example, you are just moving to a particular supplier. Okay, you are just negotiating for a product. If that supplier is not, coming out with the negotiation, you are just moving it out from that supplier. Okay, so before you just move out, try to speak with your supplier. This is your price range. I just want to have the products in this price range. So that he will be coming out with his words, whether his acceptable, this particular price is acceptable to him or not. He will have his own figure. Okay. So unless and until you have a proper open discussion to the other party, you cannot resolve your conflict. Okay, in that particular case, a mediator will be there, a third person will be there, okay, between two parties to solve your conflict. And the last is your spreading awareness and social change. So communication is basically used to spread awareness about what is good, what is bad, about your social life, about your, what do you say, health and wealth, about your environmental issue, and how to bring about a change in the environment. Okay, so unless and until you just try to spread awareness of what is going on in a particular environment, you cannot go with that. Okay, like how many governmental agencies, they are conducting campaigns about health awareness, about vaccination drives, like how this HMPV virus is going on. So many of the governmental agencies or private agencies, they are just coming out with a vaccination. So unless and until you are aware of what virus is going on, how will you take the vaccination? Right? So that does not happen. So first awareness should be there in order to use a particular product. Or many NGOs, they will try to spread awareness about climate change with the help of social media. For example, if a rainfall is occurring, okay, you might be receiving a message like there is a red alert or yellow alert or orange alert. So these messages, they are just trying to convey it with the help of your digital platforms, with the help of your social media platforms. Okay. So communication is something, a fundamental aspect of our life. Okay. And it serves multiple objects, starting from sharing of your knowledge, building up of your relationships, or to solving your problems, or influencing others. Okay. And also, the communication should be effective. If it is effective, then that leads to your personal success, that leads to your business growth, and that leads to your societal development. Is that clear? Now, next, coming towards your importance of communication. Okay, like why communication is required. What is the importance of it? Okay, first is facilitates information sharing, then it enhances understanding and clarity, it tries to strengthen your relationship, it aids in decision making and problem solving, promotes coordination, collaboration, increases productivity and efficiency, drives persuasion and influence, facilitates learning and development, it resolves your conflicts and disputes, and then it encourages innovation and creativity. Already we have discussed in our objectives, so there are some points which are not there, so that I'll just try to share it with you people. So as I already told you, this communication is very important in every aspect of life, whether in our personal relationships, or in our professional life, or when we are living in a society. Okay, so this communication, it tries to enable an individual just to express their thought, to exchange information, to try to build relationship, to achieve their goals. Okay, so effective communication, it tries to fosters your understanding, it tries to enhances your collaboration, and also it drives towards progress of your organization, your education, your business, wherever you're working. Okay, coming towards the first, that is facilitates information sharing. Okay, as we have already discussed, communication is the primary means of how you are trying to convey your idea, your instruction, or your knowledge. Okay, that means it ensures the important information is reaching to the right person at the right time or not. Okay, this is the main thing. Okay, like a teacher is trying to explain a new topic to a student, or owner of the company, or the CEO of the company. They are just trying to share the company vision with employees to achieve their goals. This is how you are just trying to share your information to the other person. Next, it enhances understanding and clarity. Already we have discussed this. That means clear communication. It ensures that the message is understood by the other party in a clear manner, in a correct manner, by reducing misunderstanding, by reducing confusion, by reducing your conflict. That means it helps your individual to express their thoughts effectively, and also how you are able to grasp the intended meaning. Like how we have seen a doctor explaining its prescription to a patient in simple terms. If the patient is able to understand the doctor's message, then you'll be healing it faster. Otherwise, there might be some other changes that takes place. Okay. Next is strengthening the relationship. That means how you are able to build trust, respect, emotional bond in your personal and in your professional relationship. So your communication should be open. Your communication should be honest. If it is there, then it leads to better understanding between individuals. Okay. For example, employees maintaining open communication. If employees are maintaining open communication with their managers, that leads to positive work environment. If you are not expressing your concerns to your manager, what will happen? You will not able to give that much productivity at your workplace. Okay, or a friend discussing their concerns or resolving conflicts in a particular relationship. Okay, this is also try to strengthen your relationship. Next, it helps in decision making and problem solving. When you try to exchange your ideas, your opinions, okay, your facts, that ultimately evaluates your different perspective. Okay, so here effective communication, it will allow a particular individual to analyze their problem, to brainstorm your problem, to come out with a solution. Okay, to try to implement strategies in whichever project you are working for. Okay, like government will be analyzing different proposals for your health campaigns. Okay, before they try to come out with a health campaign, they might be first having a clear idea what is going on in the environment, what problem is being faced by the general public. Then they will come out with a necessary plan, they will come out with a proper solution for it, a proper vaccination drive for it. Okay. Next, promotes coordination and collaboration. Already we have discussed this. That means the organization, they should have effective internal as well as external communication in order to have smooth functioning. Because this communication, it will try to help different departments when we work together to achieve our goal. Next, it increases your productivity and your efficiency. Okay, how it increases your productivity and your efficiency? If you have a well structured communication. Okay, this well structured communication, it will try to help your employees to understand their roles, to understand their responsibilities. They will try to, finish their task before the deadline. Okay, whatever the target that is being given to them. Okay, so when you are able to give a proper structured, a well structured plan to them, that ultimately minimizes your errors, it ultimately minimizes misunderstanding, it unnecessary delays will happen. Okay, so when you are presenting in a well structured, it tries to boost your work efficiency. Okay, for example, if a manager is trying to give you a clear idea of your team goals or their expectations, what will happen? It leads to improved performance, right? A well written employee handbook will be there. Okay, that will leads to reducing your confusion and also the policies which are taking place in that organization. Okay, next is drives persuasion and influence. Okay, this communication is a very powerful tool where you can convince the other person, where you can influence the other person or motivate other people decision or their actions. Basically, what is this leaders, what do you say, your politicians or your marketers, they will try to do, they will try to use their communication to inspire and persuade. Okay, we get inspired with their message and we try to vote them. Okay, like even in this advertisement also, it is trying to influence customers to purchase their products. A political leader is giving you a motivational speech just to gain public support. Okay, that means they are trying to convince the people, they are trying to influence the other people decision as well as their action. So by listening to that motivational speech, we change our decision and will try to come into action by by casting our vote to them. Okay. Next is facilitates learning and development. Okay. Communication is very essential in your education, in your training to develop your skills, not only in your academics, but also in your professional life. Okay, because how you are able to learn it, you are able to learn something by seeing something, by discussing something, by getting influence to others, by reading your books, by listening to lectures, right? Or by seeing some digital content. This is how you try to develop yourself. Okay, for example, a student learning from online courses, or a student learning from books, or a student learning from YouTube classes. These are nothing but you are just learning and developing yourself. Sometimes it may happen the company will try to train its employees, okay, by implementing new technology. When they are implementing new technology, ultimately training has to be given to the employees through workshops. Okay, a kind of a practical training will be given. Okay, this is how the communication facilitates your learning and development. Next, it also helps in your conflicts and disputes. Okay, there might be many conflicts that arise due to misunderstanding. Okay, when it happens, your effective communication, it tries to help resolve them. When you have your communication in a very effective manner, ultimately that reduces your disputes, that reduces your conflicts. Okay, if you have an open dialogue session, okay, this open dialogue will allow the other party to express their concern, to find solution, okay, to restore the harmony, to restore the peace, okay, between them. So if your communication is very clear, if there is a clarity in your communication, if your communication is effective, then it avoids your conflicts, it avoids or it resolves your disputes. Okay. Next, communication encourages innovation and creativity. How? By brainstorming in the sense, by looking into some models, by looking into some videos, how you are able to come out with creativity, how you are coming out with innovativeness, that is by sharing your ideas, by giving your feedback. For example, you are just giving a presentation, okay, in each and every person there might be some positive points and there might be some negative points, okay. Nobody will try to tell you negative points because they don't want to come to that particular area. Okay, when you don't know what your negative points are, and when someone is not telling about your negative part, that means you will not able to come out to know what is lagging between you, what is lagging in you. Okay, when you don't know anything, how you will be able to clear it? Okay, there should be someone to encourage you, to brainstorm you, to come out with, what do you say, to motivate you, to inspire you. That ultimately leads to new inventions, that ultimately leads to new improvements. Okay, basically, the employees or the entrepreneurs, you can say, they use communication to develop or to refine their ideas. Okay, for example, a team is trying to discuss, or a team is trying to come up with a new idea how to go on for a startup business. Okay, or a scientist, coming out with an idea how to develop new medical treatments. So unless and until what is going on in the environment, which virus is affecting to the general public, nobody will come out with a solution of that medicine. Okay, so this is how your communication is important. So your communication is the basic foundation of your human interaction and its progress. Okay, that means it plays a very vital role in your personal relationship, even in your professional life, whether it's for information sharing, or whether it is for solving your problems or building your relationships in each and every aspect of your life. So communication, that is, your effective communication is the key to your success. Is that clear? Now, next you have the steps in communication process. Okay, these are the steps that are required in order to transmit your message from one party to the other party. So already we have discussed this, that is elements of our communication. First is your idea generation, that is coming up with a concept, encoding, selecting the communication channel, transmission of the message, reception by the receiver, decoding, feedback, and noise. These are the steps in your communication process. Coming towards the first, that is idea generation. Okay. In this idea generation, the sender will try to identify what is the need to communicate, what is the need to formulate an idea or your thought or your message. Okay, so here your communication, okay, this involves a kind of a brainstorming. This involve a kind of how you are able to structure your communication, that is, organize your communication, okay, before you try to send it to the other party. So the message could be factual. Factual in the sense that means you are just trying to represent in a particular data, or you are just trying to represent it with the help of a particular report, okay, or you are trying to express your feelings, that is emotional feelings, or you are trying to influence decision, okay. Like a small example, a manager, they try to communicate a new advertising strategy to their team. Okay, that means they are just having a plan or an idea in their mind how to come up with a launch of a product. What product should be launched? What product should be developed? So, when a manager is trying to communicate it, there might be so many strategies. Okay, everybody will be coming up with their ideas, with their creativity, with their innovativeness within themselves. Okay, next is your encoding. Encoding is nothing but how you are able to formulate your message. Here, the sender will try to convert the idea into a proper form that is understandable by the receiver. Okay, so whatever the message that is there, it can be encoded in words in the sense either verbally expressing it or writing it on a piece of paper, or expressing it with the help of non-verbal, that is going on with symbols or gestures, or with the help of your models. So ultimately the choice of this encoding depends, okay, on factors like how it is taking place, okay, what type of audience you have, what type of context is there, what type of medium you are choosing. Okay, for example, you are just speaking on a phone call. Okay, when you are speaking on a phone call, okay, that is your audio call, okay, you are just, I mean, keeping your phone on your hand, okay, in your hand, and without speaking, if you are showing a kind of your facial expression, does the other party will come to know? The other party will not come to know unless and until you are just expressing it with the help of your mouth. If a person is standing in front of you, then verbal as well as non-verbal plays, both, I mean, both can be done. But if a person is not there in front of you and you are just going up with an audio call and you are trying to express it with the help of your facial expression or with your body language or with your gestures, the other person will not come to know what you are trying to express it. Okay, so that ultimately, I mean, this encoding ultimately depends on the medium that you are using. It ultimately depends on the context. You are just giving a kind of a presentation. Instead of speaking something from your mouth, you are just going on with changing of slide. Does it, I mean, does that taken in an effective way? It is not taken. Okay, so these are some encoding fonts. So that should be the choice should is basically dependent on these factors how you are taking it. Okay, next is selecting the communication medium or selecting the communication channel. Okay, here the sender choose the most suitable medium or the suitable channel to transmit their message. Okay, like your face to face, or going up with a phone call, or a kind of a video meeting, or with the help of your email, reports, letters, your facial expression using your social media. Okay, these are all the sources of your channel or suitable medium how you are transmitting your message. Next, transmission of message. The message is sent to the receiver through a proper channel. Okay, okay. This proper channel is success if it is dependent on factors. If your communication is clear, if your communication have got proper clarity, if your communication is accurate and there is a proper timing. Okay, sometimes it may happen some external disturbances will be there, like noise disturbance or poor network will be there. There might be some distractions. So ultimately that will affect your transmission of message. Okay, so that should not be there. Then reception by the receiver, that is receiving your message. The receiver receives your message through their senses. Senses in the sense either by listening, by reading, or by observing. Okay, there might be some external what is it, external distractions, like your noise or incomplete message or incorrect message or lack of attention will be there. When these things are there, then your message is not conveyed to the other person in a proper way. Okay, next is decoding of message, that is message interpretation. Here, the receiver will try to interpret or understand your message based on their knowledge, based on their experience, based on their perspective. So, many misinterpretation can occur due to language barriers, due to cultural differences, or some kind of what do you say, uh, unuseful messages like ambiguous messages, we call it as. Okay, so here, for example, the team members they have to understand the advertising strategy immediately, while others may need clarification because of cultural barriers. Okay, like I told you, showing you a thumbs up sign. So in our Indian culture, it's like wishing you a good luck or telling you all the best. You have done good. Okay, whereas in other part of the country, it is shaken like you're challenging them. Okay, so this is a kind of a language barrier. In our culture it is different and in their culture it is different, so interpreting, that is decoding part is different in our country and in their country. Next is feedback. Okay, feedback is nothing but here the receiver will try to respond to your message just to confirm whether the message was clear or whether the message was properly understandable to him or her not. Okay, so feedback here it ensures a two-way communication where you're just trying to help the sender either to adjust or clarify the message. And this feedback can be verbal, again, it can be non-verbal, or it can be in a written part. Next is noise. Noise refers to communication barriers. Okay, noise means basically what do you mean by noise? Noise refers to disturbance. When disturbance is there, ultimately it affects the message what you're transmitting. So it can occur at any stage of your communication process. Okay, like how you have got some background sound or poor audio or video quality. Sometimes you will be in a very stressful position. That is your psychological noise, you can say. Your voice will not be coming out properly, or what you want to express it because of so much stress or because of emotions, you are not able to express it with the help of your mouth. Okay, sometimes what do you say? Language differences will be there. Okay, sometimes misunderstanding of words will be there. Okay, you will not have a library of words in your mouth to express it. Sometimes it can be due to poor network connection or misdirected email, that is not sending a particular email to a concerned person, that is it will go to the other person to whom you don't want to or you don't intend to send it. So these are some communication barriers to your communication. Okay, so here whatever the communication that you're following, whichever the media that you're following, it should have a structured sequence to ensure the effective exchange of your ideas, because each step whatever that we have discussed, from your idea generation to your feedback, it plays a very important role. How you are able to achieve the clarity, the understanding, and the meaningful interaction. Because overcoming these barriers that ensures your smooth and effective communication. Now, next you have barriers to communication. Barriers to communication is physical barriers, semantic barriers, that is language barriers, psychological barriers, organizational barriers, cultural barriers, and personal barriers. Just now we have discussed. Okay, physical barriers are nothing but that happens with the help of your long distance or noise distractions or poor connectivity, or if a person is sitting very closely to each other, that is closed office space we call it as, and that times there might be, I mean, a barrier, that means the other party will not be able to hear your message properly. A poor phone signal that cause difficulty in hearing the other person. Or when you are speaking, if there is a loud sound coming from your background, so that makes it hard for the other person to listen to your communication in a proper way. Okay, a weak internet connection that leads to interruptions. Okay, semantic barriers is nothing but this goes on with your language barriers. Okay, that means meaning of words. When you don't have proper phrase, when you don't have proper symbol, okay, when you're not expressing in a proper symbol, that is misunderstood by the other party due to their differences in their language, in their technical terms, or with the help of unclear expression. Okay, when people try to speak different languages, miscommunication can occur there. Okay, when we try to speak with words with multiple meanings, that leads to confusion. Okay, coming towards your psychological barrier. Psychological is something when you are in a position of stress, anxiety. You may try to struggle to focus on communication. Okay, there might be some stereotypes. Stereotypes means adding masala mirchi to your conversation. Some people may misinterpret your message, what is being conceived and what is being interpreted. Okay, they will try to stereotype, they will add some mirch masala into your communication and they will try to convey it to the other party. Next is because of lack of confidence. A shy person or a nervous person may not able to express its message in a proper way. They may be struggling to express something. Okay, next is organizational barriers. Organizational barriers are nothing but improper communication channel. Okay, like if you are using a wrong mode of your channel. Okay, if you are using email instead of direct conversation. Okay, unless and until that email reaches to the other party, you have to wait, and there might be some emergency wherein you have to take your action immediately. If you are using email as your channel medium, what will happen, it might take time. The other party should have network, then only the email is received by the other party. So in that particular case, instead of expressing your message with the help of your mouth, you are using email. So this is something, a kind of improper communication channel, or unclear rules, you can say. Or when your communication is very slow, or when you have many departments in your organization, or too many levels of manage, that is complex hierarchy, you can say. So this is one of the barrier in your organization. Next, cultural barriers. The person coming from different backgrounds, different traditions, different values, they try to struggle to each other to understand their language. Even in that particular case, sometimes your body language or your facial expressions also does not work. Okay, like how in our culture, handshake, like when we try to meet a new person, we usually try to join hands and say namaste. Whereas in Western culture, they shake hands. In our culture, directly if we shake hands with the stranger, it is taken in a very negative way, right? So there are some cultural barriers, personal barriers happens because of lack of listening skills. Okay, that is not paying full attention. When you are not paying full attention, that leads to your misunderstanding. When there is a difference in your attitude, when there is a difference in your behavior, when there is a difference in your communication skill, okay, at that time your communication will not be clear to the other party. Okay, sometimes it may happen you will have your ego, you will have overconfidence, thinking that other person or one knows everything, or else they doesn't know anything, and you are dismissing others opinions. Sometimes there might be a kind of fear of criticism, that is hesitating to share your opinions because of fear of negative feedback, so that you'll be getting a negative feedback from the other party. For that particular thing, you will not try to share your opinion. Okay, are you getting it? So these are some of the barriers to your communication. So with this, I'll just try to wind up my class over here. In our next class, I'll just continue with how to overcome communication barriers. Okay, I hope my class is clear to all. Fine. Okay then. Thank you all for attending my session. In our next class, we'll continue with the remaining part. Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.
Madam, any important questions?
Sorry?
Important questions, madam.
Yeah, I'll give you at the last day of my class.
Okay.